Yo, what is up guys, YKanime back again with another What If, and today we're continuing What If Deku could summon weapons. If you guys are wondering why I'm not continuing bigger series on my channel, it's just that I want smaller series to get a bit more love on this channel, so make sure to go check those What Ifs that have a bit less views than my other popular videos, as it would really help me. I also want to announce that I have a Discord server, YK's Chill Corner. So if you guys want to find out when my next videos come out, just make sure to join there, and I have some special bots. You could do some mini games. I'm really desperate to find challenges for those mini games, as I'm the only one doing it other than a few friends of mine. So I would really appreciate it if you join that server. So yeah, anyways, well, let's just hop into this What If. So, whilst Class 1A are just, they're just all just sitting, hanging out. Midoriya, who is currently sitting by himself, speaking with Bakugo, gets interrupted by, a good-looking girl. This girl is Momo Yaoyorozu. She says, "Your quirk is pretty nice, as I have something similar. But it seems that you can only summon weapons. Well, I can create pretty much anything." And she starts to continue to talk about Midoriya's quirk. But as she's talking and trying to understand about Midoriya's quirk, they both get interrupted. Aizawa walks into the room and tells them that they will be going out for a small trip, which excites the whole class as they get to do something fun for the first time. So, they go outside, and, at this point we would understand that Deku and Momo Yaoyorozu are class reps. So Midoriya is, kind of a bit strict. He's kind of forcing everyone to go in a line, pretty much like Ida, whilst Momo Yaoyorozu is kind of, surprised at Midoriya's act. And since Midoriya has been done on martial arts, he's kind of taken the teaching from there, and he's kind of strict. So everyone heads into the bus, and they're both off. They all arrive to the location, which they meet the hero 13, and 13 goes on to introduce the place, saying that this is the USJ, which I forgot what it means. So everyone heads inside, and mesmerized, there you go, at how big this place is. And 13 looks over to Aizawa. Aizawa first of all asks where All Might is, and 13 pulls out fingers, which Midoriya, the only one that knows what happened, catches on and says All Might has already run out of power, I would say. So whilst everyone is minding their own business, this weird black thing opens. Everyone is in shock as they see it get bigger, and they think that this is probably just part of the thing. But as 13 says, this isn't not supposed to happen, and out of nowhere multiple villains walk through this big black thing. So all the children are actually scared, except for Bakugo and Midoriya, as they're kind of getting excited because they think that they will probably be able to fight. But they are stopped by Aizawa. Aizawa simply tells the class to get out of the area. And so, with his command, everyone decides to leave. But to no avail, as well, this weird black thing appears all under everyone. And for protection, Momoyao Yorozu jumps to Midoriya as she thinks something bad's gonna happen. And so everyone gets teleported away. This time, instead of it being Mineta, Tsuyu, and Deku, it's now, well, pretty much Deku, Tsuyu, and Momoyao Yorozu. Mineta, well, was expelled last episode, but came back, and, well, he kind of learned his lesson, and, well, this time he ends up with Ojiro. Sadly, no women for him. So, they seem to be sent into this water place, which is kind of helpful for Tsu, and so they start to they're trying to Midoriya thinks of a plan to escape and asks their quirks. Momo and Tsu, kind of explain the quirks, but Deku has a full understanding of Momo. Momo is kind of impressed by Midoriya's bravery, and so Midoriya, takes out a bow and fires it straight into the water. But this was no normal bow, as this bow creates an explosion, which causes all of the villains to fly out of the water. Midoriya, now confused on what to do, takes out another arrow, fires it, and out of this bow is pretty much came out a zipline, which kind of impresses Momo, as he has seems to be a large variety of weapons. And so Midoriya simply says, "Hang on," and they all take off onto land. When they're on land, they turn over to see Aizawa, who's currently fighting, the villains in, because he's epic. He's Aizawa. He's best teacher. But, they kind of stopped when they see the main villain, Shigaraki, who kind of Aizawa, he's kind of getting annoyed of Aizawa, and decides to send someone to attack him. And right behind him, there's a huge giant creature, and Shigaraki tells this creature, "Nomu, go kill him." And so the Nomu goes over to go and kill Aizawa, but is stopped with an arrow to the head. Yes, Midoriya had fired an arrow, which doesn't hit the Nomu's head, but instead hits him in the face. We were saying eye. The gnome, who doesn't really pay attention to this, but is only on command, pulls out the arrow and gets ready to kill Aizawa, and Midoriya, who thinks he's failed, doesn't give up. Midoriya fires at least so many arrows at the Nomu, and with no avail. The Nomu just keeps taking out the arrows, but it's at least holding back. Midoriya simply, tells Aizawa to move, which Aizawa does, and Midoriya fires an explosive arrow straight to the Nomu, and leaving a giant hole in it. But the Nomu does regenerate from it, but this did give some time for Aizawa to escape. Shigaraki, while annoyed that Aizawa escaped because of Deku, simply tells the Nomu to go kill the kid, and the Nomu goes over to kill Midoriya, but before it could even swing, Midoriya stops the punch with a great sword. Midoriya is actually able to hold a great sword with his strength, and this great sword material isn't something that is known from Earth, as actually all of his weapons are not materials from Earth, as Midoriya kind of flicks away the Nomu. Midoriya's weapons seem to be imbued with some magic, which is a cool. I'll just say this. Midoriya's weapons are obviously are not from this world, and they seem to be imbued with some magic, and according to Midoriya's mind, is what he can create. So Midoriya could create a sword that could be on fire. So this Nomu gets launched back with the great sword, and Midoriya starts to swing the great sword like a madman. And the Nomu can kind of block the attacks, it doesn't succeed. Midoriya slowly cuts off all of its limbs, but it keeps regenerating. And Midoriya, not knowing what to do, hears a familiar voice. Out of nowhere, All Might appears. Midoriya, not knowing what had happened and how All Might came here, All Might simply says that um, a, a young boy by the name of Ida came to warn us about the villains, and looks like we've made it just on time. And so, whilst Midoriya was actually holding back the Nomu, Shigaraki is kind of scared as this kid, Midoriya, has a strong quirk. Maybe he should just kill him instead. And Shigaraki goes to touch Midoriya with all his 5 fingers, but then is just launched away by All Might. But the punch is actually blocked by the Nomu, who actually was protecting Shigaraki. And while Midoriya simply doesn't do anything, because now All Might is here, and All Might simply tells Midoriya to get out of here and grab Aizawa. That's what Deku does. Deku grabs Aizawa and runs for his life. He tells Momo and Tsu to follow him, as they both do. Momo kind of blushes at how Midoriya's bravery and was fighting that strong villain. Yes, I will be saying this. Momo kind of has a crush on Deku, even though he's short. And, well, he's a cinnamon bun. So, well, they all try to run, and so the fight with All Might and the Nomu happen. All Might, who's actually kind of, had a bit more time to rest due to Midoriya holding the Nomu off, actually has a bit more strength, and actually kind of beats the Nomu far easier than in canon, but we would say it would take around the same time, with All Might going plus Ultra. Midoriya watch as the number one hero just beats the Nomu, is actually in awe as he finally actually gets to see the number one hero in action. Well, he kinda did see the number one hero in action already, and Midoriya regroups with Bakugo. But Midoriya says about how he fought the Nomu, and Bakugo thinks that he's just probably just playing with him, and so they have no choice. The villains have no choice but to retreat. While leaving some of the villains back, Shigaraki and Kurogiri, they successfully escape, leaving the other villains behind for them to be captured. Aizawa simply thanks Midoriya for his bravery and says thank you for saving me, and while he doesn't have anything to say, but All Might has a lot to say. He says, I'm proud of you, young Midoriya, for showing your bravery and protecting Aizawa, and while Midoriya is kind of getting praised, and Bakugo simply says, you need to tell me the whole story of what the hell just happened. So everyone kind of gets traumatized, and also kind of happy that they successfully, was saved, and happy that they didn't die. So yeah, I'll be leaving this part of, hope you guys, enjoyed, and I'll be seeing, and like I said, make sure to go check the other episode as it needs more love. And so I'll be seeing you guys on the next What If. Goodbye.